Roy,
Yo, what's happening?
what's going on, man? How the hell are you?
Hey, man, I can't complain, besides being in North Carolina.
Oh, come on, man. It seems like you guys are very North Carolina proud.
Well, it's another day in paradise, Ben. We got blue Carolina, blue skies going today and just waiting for a hurricane to hit down on us. So, I'm making the best that you can, man.
Oh, boy. Well, at least you're making the best of it. That's all that matters.
Hey, man, it's all in your perspective.
Absolutely. So you guys, actually, the fifth, you're very new to me. I actually really just learned about you guys a few months ago when the latest single came out, No Going Home. And I've been playing the hell out of that song because I freaking love it.
Oh, man, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
So, and then I find out, you guys been around for 15 years.
Yeah, the band's been around. We're like one of the best kept secrets in the music industry and on the East Coast, man. We've been hitting it for about 15 years. We've had a couple of member changes as most bands of that duration would have. But me and my guitar player Icky Jim, we've been together for about 11 years now. So we've developed a nice little songwriting collaboration there.
Nice, very cool. Now, and didn't you just recently again have a member change with the drummer like a week ago or something?
We are literally like Spinal Tap when it comes to drummers. But, actually this time around, we got our old drummer back, which was the previous drummer before we got rid of Darius. So we had a cat named Darius Rose playing with us for about 2 years, and there was a guy named Chuck Tipton that was the drummer before Darius. And Chuck has rejoined the fold, so that's kind of made it into a very seamless transition. And Chuck is a hell of a drummer, man. He makes us a better band, and we couldn't be happier to have him back with us.
That's cool. That's very cool. So now, and also, too, for people that don't even know or realize, as I'm going through and reading the bio and everything else, I'm like, oh, damn, you played with Mark Ferrari in Cold Sweat.
Yes, I guess you would be that would be my claim to shame or claim to fame. Me and Mark, we did the MCA record, Cold Sweat Breakout, which was a brilliant record, but unfortunately we were just signed to the wrong label, the wrong timing, because it was right at 89, 90 when that entire grunge revolution was starting to take a hold. But the biggest thing that hurt us is there was a trademark infringement over the name. So we were out on the road touring with Ronnie James Dio. Wendy Dio was our manager, and there was a trademark infringement lawsuit going on that MCA didn't even bother to tell us about. It was when it was too late. So we were one of those unfortunate rock and roll casualties, man. But brilliant record. And it still stands the test of time. I'm very, very proud of that record still.
That's awesome. And didn't you guys, I was reading it said you guys, the day you got dropped was the day your video came in.
That is absolutely true. And it was a terrible situation, man, because it was like, during that time, it was still the age of MTV. And for a band like us to not have a video out, we really felt that it was hampering us. And we were getting the big-time stall from MCA. We couldn't understand why they weren't dropping no dough on us to cut a video. So we took part of our publishing money and part of our merchandising money, and we pulled it together. And we were out on the road with Ronnie, and due to being managed by Wendy, we were able to kind of piece together a video of our own. So we footed the bill for our video, and through a lot of hard work and diligence on Wendy's part, she finally got the thing aired, and as soon as it got aired, we got dropped by MCA. So once again, just the classic rock and roll tragedy story.
That's crazy. Now, and then, I look at that, and I think to myself, wow, that was, 25 years ago or whatever it was. And
25
still
years
today,
ago.
you're still, you're still doing, pursuing a music business career after being, having a very bad taste early on.
Well, I mean, I'm about as close to a showbiz baby as you can get. I started singing in bands when I was 15 years old. I grew up on stage in the local bars up and down the East Coast and the Southeastern Circuit. When I was 16 years old, my old band Gibraltar, we had a number one song on the local FM station. So, I mean,
oh, wow.
I've been singing and performing, literally, a good portion of my life. So, for me, I'm one of those rare oddities that, it's not really about the money or the fame, because if it would have been about that, I would have quit a long time ago. I simply just love singing and performing and being a creative person. There was a brief period in my life, I'd say about 3 years that I didn't have any musical interest going on, and I was just a miserable son of a bitch. You know what I mean? I need that creative outlet, and I feel like I'm a better person whenever I'm being creative and singing and performing. So it's not about the money, it's not about the fame. It's really about singing and performing and being creative and putting stuff out for the fan.
Oh, I guess at that point you really truly realized how much it meant to.
Well, yeah. I mean, it becomes a part of your life, man. I mean, it's truly a part of my life, and it's a part of my identity, and it's a huge part of who I am. So, I don't want to cut that off. I don't want to cut that off, and I feel like I'm singing better than ever. I haven't lost a step. And as long as I'm still able to do it and people are still willing to come see me, I'm going to keep putting music out.
Nice. So, all right. So, now, again, going back to the bio and all of the fifth I was reading, and I really have to agree that, like, it says in there how a lot of the bands today have really truly become very generic and faceless. And I was just wondering, and I agree with it, and I kind of think, like, that's a big part of the whole music business today. And I was wondering what you thought.
Well, I mean, I grew up from the era of like Van Halen and Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin. And, those were bands that had rock stars. You knew each band member's name. You knew who they were. Nowadays, I mean, can you really tell me who the lead singer of Chevelle is? No, you can't.
No.
Because
you're right.
I mean, and not knocking Chevelle. They write some good modern rock, heavy tunes. But it's just the point that I'm making is a huge element of rock stardom and stars and larger than life that has been just chiseled away, and I think a lot of that came from the entire grunge movement. I think that, when you had people bitching about being a rock star, it kind of turned a lot of people off. I mean, how can you complain about being a freaking rock star? You know what I mean? So,
right.
I like having band members. This isn't the Roy show. You know what I'm saying? I like my band members to be stars. I've got my guitar player's name is Icky Jim, for God's sakes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've got a bass player named David Franco, my drummer Chuck Tipton. I mean, these guys are stars individually, and you're only as good as your individual parts. And I want to go to battle with guys that I know I could stand on stage with, and I'm seeing out in the audience, and their eyes are darting everywhere. They're looking at the drummer. They're looking at the guitar player. They're looking at the bass player, and that's what I think is really missing in rock and roll, is that type of entertainment factor and that type of star quality in the players.
Sure, absolutely. And something else going along that you guys mentioned too in the bio was, along with that, I mean, it says that you guys are on being the most approachable band in the music business today.
Well, I mean, the fans make you and the fans break you. And you know, you could speak to anybody that hangs out with us. We play a music festival in Illinois every year. We're coming up on our third year playing at the Rock and Skull Festival. It is a 3-day festival where it is basically a huge meet and greet for us. I mean, we come off stage, we go down, we're doing shots, we're drinking beers, we're taking pictures, we're signing autographs. You know what I mean? It's like that's what it's about. And whenever you can have that type of connection with your fan base, you will have an undying loyalty from them that is second to none. And I pride ourselves on that. And I learned a lot of that from Ronnie James Dio. I mean, I was very fortunate enough to tour with him for 6 months and had some really great in-depth conversations, and he mentored me in a lot of ways. And I really learned that, you know, it's about the fans, and it's about how you treat the fans. So I'd like to think that we are very approachable, and we are a fans band, you know.
You know, it really is amazing. I mean, Dio, the guy is such a true legend. And really, it's scary to me because the more and more people I interview, it seems like a lot of people have had those encounters or who have been on tour with him for months at a time, and they all tell me the same thing, like just how much he would spend time with them and teach them about things of the business and, you know, everything like that. It just really just adds more to his legend.
Well, I tell you what, and just a quick personal story, one of our guitar techs on the Cold Sweat tour was a good friend of mine from here in North Carolina. And before we went out on the road, you know, I sent back for my homeboys, you know, to road crew for me. And my good buddy Chris Durant turned out to be one of our guitar techs. And he later made a career change into driving tour buses. So for years he was driving coaches all around the country. Now, fast forward 20-some plus years, Chris is in the same city that Black Sabbath is playing, and he, of course, because he knows all the drivers, he gets backstage passes, and he's standing on the side of the stage watching Black Sabbath. And I shit you not, in the middle of the set, Ronnie looks over to the side of the stage, recognizes Chris, runs over mid-set when he had a break in a guitar solo, hugs him and says, "Chris, fantastic to see you. Please tell me that you're going to stay till after the show. I would love to have a beer and catch up with you."
Damn.
Now, that if that doesn't blow your mind, not only did he recognize him, he remembered his name. But then again, you know, Chris was a quite unique fellow. I mean, he was a black fellow but dressed like a biker. So, you know what I mean? He looked kind of like Samuel L. Jackson. But he was a memorable guy. But still, you know, you can just imagine the hundreds and thousands and if not millions of people that Ronnie's met through his career. For him to remember Chris says a lot about Ronnie and the type of person that he is and was. Wow. And rest in peace.
Yeah, absolutely. So, something that goes, I guess, along with being, you know, really open with your fans and, you know, being able to make those connections with them is, unfortunately, you guys at one point had your equipment stolen, like $30,000 in equipment.
Oh, wow. That was a terrible situation, man. We just got finished playing a Myrtle Beach Bike Week. And, you know, yeah, we came back and we used to park our trailer at the one of our former drummers' houses. And this guy lived out in the middle of the boonies, man. You know what I mean? So we totally thought that our equipment would be safe out there. It had been safe out there for about a year plus. But, you know, we were completely burned after playing a week in Myrtle Beach and partying really hard. You know, we pull up, we unhook the trailer from the van. And, you know, I guess we didn't put the padlock on it or something like that. And yeah, we had $30,000 worth of gear stolen. And the way that we had a huge outpouring of support from our fans and you know, they really helped us get back out on our feet so we can get back out there playing shows. So that was a tragic, you know, situation, but it did have a bit of a silver lining.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that just goes to show, people about you guys. I mean, you speak about Ronnie James Dio, but, I mean, you guys have an incredible connection with your fans, and it speaks volumes right there.
Yeah, we're very fortunate, man, and we don't take any of that stuff for granted, man. That was an amazing feeling to have people, because we had shows literally the next weekend. And, there was just a huge outpouring, and local businesses helped us out. We got some help from some of our sponsors and endorsers, and it was a good thing, man. But I tell you, I really hate that we lost all that gear. That one really, really hurt. I mean, it was like a custom chrome sonar drum set, a Les Paul. I mean, just irreplaceable gear. You know what I mean? And I'd like, all I know is there's a fucking mariachi band in Mexico somewhere playing on some badass fucking gear.
Oh, man. So now, let me see if I got this right. Now, you guys had a song featured on Dancing with the Stars and Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah, my buddy Eric Gammons, who is the guitar player for Cold Sweat, he put together a music placement company because he's still living out in Los Angeles, and he's got his hustle going on. And we stayed in touch through the years. And what he basically did is he took some of our songs and submitted them, and we were lucky enough to have them picked up on those television shows and stuff like that. They're little snippets and stuff, but still it was cool to hear our songs. And to get that type of national exposure, it's cool.
Absolutely, that's funny. I got it. By chance, you know what episode of Grey's Anatomy? I watch that show. I love that show.
Right. Yeah, it was just one of those little commercial bumper teaser type things.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So, all right. So going back to the single "No Going Home," which came out a couple months ago. Now, is that going to be coming off of an album coming out or EP or?
Yeah, we're in the midst of working on an EP right now. A band like us, though, the music business is different, So being able to have we don't have the luxury of the financial backing of a label per se. So
right.
Between member changes and just the stuff that happens with bands, it's been a struggle to get the stuff out. But now we've got a solid foundation with Chuck being back in the band, and we're hoping to get into the studio and hopefully get something out early next year.
Nice.
That's
now.
the plan.
How about show wise? Are you guys touring around any or?
Yeah, we're doing shows pretty much here in the Southeast. We've got a show coming up September 23rd. We're headlining a big Ray Price Harley Davidson Bike Fest in downtown Raleigh. We're doing a cancer benefit for a friend of ours here in Fayetteville, a show in Virginia, and then we fly out to Illinois to do that Rock and Skull Festival the end of October. So we're finishing off the year strong. It's unfortunate that we had the drummer change right when we kind of released the single and whatnot. That kind of put a hamper in our momentum that we had going. But everything happens for a reason, man. And we're a better band with Chuck, and people will visibly be able to see that. And whenever we go into the studio, it'll be a whole new beast. So I'm excited about it.
Nice. Now, have you guys ever come up here to Philly?
Man, we'd love to get up to Philly. That would be fantastic, man. Hopefully next year we're looking to expand. Hopefully once we get a new EP out on the shelves, we could pick up some distribution and maybe start making some headway and expanding out. But hey, we're one of those bands. You pay, you pay, we play, and you tell us when to be there, and we'll throw down for you. So we're always looking to expand. So hopefully soon next year we'll be up in that area.
Cool. Very cool. So, all right, so where can everybody get the single, No Going Home, and the rest of your catalog?
Well, as of right now, No Going Home is available for download, like Google Play, and you can find all our music on our Reverb Nation page. So, if you want to get some free downloads, all our music is available at RazorbNation.com/The Fifth. That's spelled out THEFIFTH. But the normal download sites, iTunes, and all that stuff, you can find our stuff.
Nice, very cool. Cool. Anything you want to add in before I let you go, or did I miss anything? Or
no, brother, I think that's it, man. I really appreciate the opportunity talking with you, and thanks for spinning the single, and we're glad that you're digging it, man. I think No Going Home has a very much a classic sound to it. It's got it's definitely rock, and it has elements. I like to call us mutt rock because we've got elements of the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. You can listen to our music and you really can't put your finger on it. You can't go, oh well, they're 80s influenced, or they're new metal, or they're modern rock. So we like to kind of draw from our influences, and I really love the Sabbathy vibe that the song has. I think it's got just a real good blues, dark Sabbath vibe to it. So, yeah, man, I appreciate the support, and just please keep in touch. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you today.
Absolutely, and I hope 2017 we see you in Philly.
Thank you, brother, man. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Absolutely. All right, Roy, thanks again, and we'll be talking soon, and I'll keep spinning that tune.
Okay, pal. Keep in touch now.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, buddy. Later. Take care.